I just moved out of a home that had karmic energy, and I need to show you guys how to calculate the energy of your home so you can know if you're living in a karmic space, or especially if you're house hunting right now, how to avoid a home with karmic energy. Now, when I first learned about this, I wanted to believe that it wasn't true and that I could do a bunch of things to kind of mitigate this energy. But I've realized that there's no way around it. You literally have to go through it. And when I looked at my rental report, turns out I've lived in every single one of the karmic numbers. And it makes a lot of sense. So, in the famous words of Yo Gotti, women lie, men lie, but the numbers don't lie. So if you don't believe in this shit, just keep on scrolling, because I'm not about to argue with you, baby. You gonna feel the shit. So let's get into it. The karmic numbers are 13, 14, 16, and 19. The master numbers are 11, 22, and 33. These are numbers that, like, you're gonna like living in these houses, okay? I've also lived in a master number home. It was pretty fucking great. Every home, every apartment has different energy to it, which is why you might notice, especially if you're a person that moves around a lot like me, you'll notice that in every home, the dynamic of different things in your life always changes. And it's because of the energy of the home. Now, this is going to require a little bit of math, but it's really easy math. But if you don't understand it, go ahead and drop your numbers in the comments. Just make sure that you jumble the numbers up so that it's not your exact address, because we don't want any people getting into stalker situations over this video. Okay, so let's say that your address is 5527 Rose Lane. Okay, this is the numbers that you're going to add up. So you would do 5 plus 5 plus 2 plus 7. Now this comes out to 19, okay? Now remember, I said 13, 14, 16, and 19 are karmic energies. So this house would be a karmic home. Now, I'm going to do a separate video on all the meanings of the different numbers. So whatever number you got when you calculated it, make sure that you drop it in the comments and I can use your comment to make that video. So if you live in a house, this is where you would stop. But let's say that you live in an apartment, because an apartment is a little bit different. The actual building itself has its own energy, and then your apartment has a separate energy, which is kind of like, almost think of it as like a side quest type of thing. So let's say that this is the apartment building number. And let's say that your apartment was 11B, okay? So when you have a letter, what you're going to do is you're going to take the number associated with that letter. So A would be 1, B would be 2, C would be 3, and so on and so forth, all the way to Z, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to add 1 plus 2. And that's going to equal 4. Okay, so the energy of your building is karmic, but the energy of your apartment is not karmic. So that's going to help you out a little bit. You're going to experience challenges and different lessons from each angle, but this number is going to help you out a little bit to balance out the karmic energy of that building overall. Now let's take a number that isn't karmic so I can show you how to break it down. So let's say that it was 5528. Let's say that it was 5528 Rose Lane. Okay, so that would be 5 plus 5 plus 2 plus 8. Nobody talk shit about the way that I'm writing. I'm literally using one hand to write, one hand to record. Fuck off, okay? Because I gotta say it, because motherfuckers be dumb. Okay, anyway, this would equal 20, right? There's no 20 when it comes to the energies, okay? It's either going to be 1 through 9, or one of the master numbers, 11, 22, or 33, or one of the karmic numbers, 13, 14, 16, or 19, okay? So when you get a number like this, what you would do is 2 plus 0 equals 2. So the energy of your home is actually going to be 2, okay? If the energy of your home doesn't come out to a karmic number or a master number, you're going to reduce it all the way down to one number. Now let's get another example, because I know y'all like, give me all the examples, please. So let's do it. Let's say that your home is 1 plus 9. Oh my God. Wait. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, so let's say that your home is 1995 Rose Lane. I don't need to write the street name, right? Y'all got it now? Okay, so then you would do 1 plus 9 plus 9 plus 5. And that's going to equal 24. Now, like I said, since 24 is not a master number and it's not a karmic number, you're going to reduce that down to one number. So how you do that is 2 plus 4 equals 6. Okay, so 6 would be the energy of your home. And let's do one more for the apartment, just in case you guys need an extra example with a letter in it. So let's say that your apartment is 7G. So that would be 7 plus 7, because G is the 7th letter of the alphabet. And that would be 14, which, damn, okay, that's a karmic number. So there you go. The energy of the building itself would be 6, right? But the energy of the apartment that you live in would be 14, which is a karmic number. So house number 1 is all about independence, new beginnings, and leadership. So if you're an entrepreneur or wanting to start a business, this is definitely a perfect house for it because it's going to attract a lot of leadership opportunities to you. The challenges with the house number 1 could be too much isolation because you're so into your endeavors that you isolate yourself and it can make you a little bit lonely. So try to balance out the things that you're working on and your social life. It can also make you a little bit impatient, which would cause your leadership kind of turn into a dictatorship, so be mindful of that. Now, if you've been looking to strengthen your relationship or wanting to get into a relationship, a house with the number 2 energy is perfect for you. These homes are really good for strengthening any relationship, really, even just friendships and partnerships, because it creates an atmosphere for intimacy. Now, because you are in such an intimate space, this can cause problems with like becoming overly sensitive. And I mostly think that's because you're going to be absorbing a lot of other people's energy. So make sure that you work on energetically protecting yourself. Living in this home can also bring you challenges of indecision. So if you have a hard time making decisions, it might be a little bit harder in this home. So a pendulum is going to be your best friend. Check out my page for pendulums. House number 3s are really great for social networking, okay? It might turn into a party house. You're gonna have a lot of people wanting to come over and connect with you here. It's the 3's company. These homes usually have a really cheerful energy about them. That's why they're really good for hosting parties. One challenge with a house that has 3 energy is that you might feel a little bit scattered and disorganized, and that's mostly due to the fact that you have so many people over. When you have people over, you need to be cleansing the space after they leave, 1, and 2, balance out the time that you spend to yourself and the time that you have company over. Don't have people over all the time, because that's just going to make you even more scattered. And big emphasis on cleansing your space after they leave, because people leave their energy behind. Get that shit out because it's not helping the scatteredness. If you've been looking to get your shit together, a house with the number 4 energy is perfect for that, because it is a perfect home to build the foundation of stability and help you to get organized in your life. So living in a house with the number 4 energy can be really good for your success. It can be really good for your business. It can be really good for education as well. But just make sure that your discipline doesn't make you stubborn, okay? Be open to change. And find a really good work and life balance, okay? Everything is about balance. So don't get too stuck into your routine where you don't let yourself have any fun. Now, houses with number 5 energy is another home that can definitely be turned into a party house, because 5 is all about adventure, excitement, socializing, and change. These homes usually aren't long-term homes. They'll be homes that kind of have people moving in and out a lot, because it's the house of change, the house of transformation. So it's usually not a forever home for most people. People love to come to these houses because they can feel comfortable in living in the present moment and not have to worry about the past or the future. They're just living in the now. Now, of course, with that comes balancing that energy. Don't always have people over. Make sure you balance you time and friend time. A challenge with this house could be that because you're having so many people over or so much like impulsive energy coming through and flowing through you, it will make you really restless and just constantly wanting to be on go. Try to find time to take some rest and have some meditation time, or even just some time to yourself where it can be quiet and peaceful, because that's kind of hard to have in a house that has 5 energy. Now, if there's any home to start your family in, it's a house with number 6 energy. It's all about harmony, it's all about compassion, and it's a very nurturing energy. This home is also going to teach you to be very responsible. So it's really good if you're trying to start a family. It's really going to bring out the nurturing side of you, but with that comes the challenge of over giving your energy. So make sure that you're balancing yourself out and don't give too much, because you cannot pour from an empty cup, right? Although it might be difficult, try to find some time for some self-care, whatever that may be, big or small. If you've been wanting to step more into your spiritual energy, a house with a number 7 energy is all about that. Living in a house with number 7 energy will essentially force you to be more spiritual. It's going to force you to kind of isolate and to go within. This is a perfect home to help you cultivate even more wisdom and help you to really go within and connect with yourself on a deeper level. The only issue is that you might isolate yourself a little bit too much and become very lonely. So make sure that you balance out the time that you're spending with yourself and the time that you're getting out into the real world. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go be a social butterfly, but at least get outside every once in a while. Now, if any house is going to help you with that money, it's definitely going to be a house with the number 8 energy. House number 8s are all about success, ambition, and power. Definitely going to help you level up financially, but on the opposite end, it could also mean that you're spending a lot of money. So make sure that you're balancing your income with your spending. You don't want the money that you're getting to go straight out the door, okay? This house can also make you a little bit of a workaholic, so balance your work life and your regular life, your social life, your personal life. And do not be trying to keep up with the Joneses and be so fucking materialistic that you're only buying things because you think that they're going to impress other people. Put the blinders on, okay? What is really gonna make you happy, and spend your money on that. Don't worry about showing it off to anybody. Honestly, you don't need to be showing off your shit to nobody, because that's what makes your shit deteriorate even faster. So keep it to yourself. What would make you happy regardless of if the world knew that you had it or not? That's where your money needs to go. This is also one of the houses that can lead to a hoarding situation, because you might feel like you never have enough, so you're constantly striving for more and more and more, getting more things. So just be mindful. Like I said, think about what would truly make you happy, and if you really don't know if you should buy it or not, use a pendulum. Check out my page for pendulum tutorials and beautiful handmade pendulums. Houses with the number 9 energy is another one where people are going to be drawn to coming over a lot, okay? They're just going to love being there. It's good energy, it's compassionate energy, and it's gonna make you want to really give to other people. This is definitely a home where people are going to be drawn to just stop by, get some advice, hang out a little bit. Now, the challenge with that is just another thing with overgiving. You might be giving too much of your energy because you just want people to feel welcome, but sometimes that comes with a price. So make sure that your cup is full first. Balance the time that you every single one of these numbers is about balance, if you haven't noticed, but balance the time that you spend with yourself and the time that you allow people to come over. Make sure that you have really clear boundaries, okay? If you want to go to bed at a certain time, you better let them people know, ain't no coming over after this time, and you have to leave by this time, okay? Don't play. So houses with the 11 energy is really good for manifesting, and similar to number 1, it's really good for leadership as well. Homes with this energy is essentially a gateway to a new mindset, a gateway to a new way of living. A lot of new opportunities are going to be presented to you while you're living at this home. By living in this home, your intuition is definitely going to increase and your awareness will be heightened. Now, a challenge with that is that it may make you a bit overly sensitive to energies. This means that if the house gets a little bit dirty, you're going to start feeling it, okay? You're going to be very irritable, and you're just going to be more aware of these things, because everything truly is energy. So the dirt and the grime and the fucking mess is energy that is going to bother you. So you're going to really have to work to make sure that this house is clean, because it will really affect you, as well as other people's energies that are living in the home. So make sure that you are spiritually protecting yourself and shielding your aura so that you don't pick up other people's shit so much, because like I said, that awareness and that intuition is just going to be heightened. It's definitely going to help you dive into your spirituality even more. So embrace whatever spiritual pursuits come your way in this home. Now, houses that have a number 22 energy is one that a lot of numerologists say this is the best home to have, okay? It represents calm and stability. They just feel really safe. So if there's any home that is going to be your forever home, definitely try to shoot for a number 22 home. These are the kind of houses that your kids are just going to constantly want to come back to, and they might never want to leave, which if you don't want that, then this is definitely a great home to just build your life in. The energy of this home is going to help you to achieve a lot of things, but just make sure that you're balancing your work life and your home life, okay? Because it can make you just a little bit addicted to just build. Take some time to enjoy what you're building. You're also going to be put through a lot of spiritual tests in this home, so just be prepared for that and be mindful. And if you know that you're being tested, it just makes it a little bit easier to just go with the flow. Now, houses with the number 33 energy is known to be one of the rarest types of home energies. How do you say that? No, it's the rarest kind. This is the type of home that people feel comfortable to come to you in their darkest times of need, okay? Like, it's going to be, it's a home that provides a lot of love, which is why people feel so comfortable to come when they're in the pits of hell, depression, just dealing with a lot of dark shit. They're going to want to come to you in this home. This home is really going to help you to be selfless and to help others in a way that you probably never even thought that you could, because like I said, people are going to be coming to you in their darkest times. The challenge with that is making sure that you're not overgiving, okay? Balance out the time that you spend giving advice to others and helping others and nurturing others with you, okay? Make sure that you're giving that love and that good energy to yourself as well. And if you're already the type of person that you don't like to interact with other people anyways, this home is probably going to get you out of that, because this is a home that is going to help you love others and help others. So that could be the challenge for you as well. Like, if you're the opposite of that, you don't really like to give to others, this home, if you're kind of like a selfish person, you're a little selfish with your energy, this home is definitely going to change that. Okay, so please do not freak out if your house has a karmic energy to it, okay? It's not the end of the world. You were put there for a reason, and that just means that there's lessons to be learned. How this karmic energy manifests for every single home is going to be totally different, because I lived in a house with the number 16 energy twice, and both of the times it was different. So let's start with number 13, and I'll tell you about that in number 16. Now, if you live in a home with number 13 energy, expect to work really hard, okay? Because the kind of like karmic debt or the karmic energy of that number is from being lazy in the past. So you're going to make up for that in this home. It's going to be a lot of work, both physically and emotionally. These homes might also need a lot of renovations done to them. They might be a little bit beat up, so that could be where the work is needing to be put in. And these types of homes might be prone to a lot more damages and stuff. So you want to be mindful of that before you move into a home like this. Just know there might be some issues with the house, and maybe it's stuff that you don't necessarily see up front. Might be needing to call maintenance a lot. But one good thing about this home is that it's really going to help you to break old habits, okay? If you're lazy, you ain't going to be lazy no more. You're going to see the reward in putting in hard work. Now, houses with number 14 energy, there's going to be a lot of restriction of freedom, okay? So this could be like you're really locked into your job and really don't have any time to do anything else. This could be like maybe you're a stay-at-home mom and you're just like, you can't do shit. You're just stuck at home. There's going to be a restriction of freedom somewhere in your life. What this house is going to teach you is self-discipline, okay? You're gonna feel restricted in one area, but once you figure out like what the trade-off is for the universe, or like what it is that you're needing to become more disciplined in, you're going to see that you're gonna feel more free. The freedom, the reins. What the fuck am I trying to say? If you don't work on disciplining yourself, it could lead to a cycle of violence and anger. So you really want to be mindful of not overindulging in certain things. Like, this is gonna be the house that if you have any addictions, get ready to let them go, because you're either going to be led peacefully or forcefully. Now, houses with number 16 energy. Ooh, I don't like this number at all. So the house that I just moved out of had number 16 energy. This has to do with love and your relationships, even if it's not like romantic relationships, even the platonic relationships. All of these things they're going to be tested. Now, the first time that I was living in a house number 16 home, I got cheated on, okay? Which was a blessing in disguise, because that was my way out of the relationship. But when I realized that I was in another house number 16 in my last home, I was sweating a little bit, because I'm like, bruh, don't tell me the same shit's gonna happen in this house. And thankfully that didn't happen. But what did happen was a lot of my relationships were tested. I stopped talking to my sister in this house. I got rid of my dog in this house. I struggle with libido in this house. So like my sexual chemistry with my husband was not there. You know, it was very challenging. It challenged every single one of my relationships, except my relationship with my daughter. Thank goodness. But every single other relationship, yeah, that motherfucker got tested or got thrown out, okay? So, not to scare you, but just to let you know that, like, yeah, you know. But another thing is that 16, 1 plus 6 equals 7. So it did force me to go inward and really like get in tune with my spiritual self and to see what all of these things were really doing for me. So it will cause you to go within and do a lot of introspection, which is ultimately going to help your relationships, but they will be tested. Now, houses with number 19 energy, this is my childhood home, and yeah, it's a lot of abuse. It's a lot of abuse. It could be abuse of power. You could be with somebody who starts to be abusive in this home, or you might, be abusive in this place. Something is going to be abused, all right? So you can also deal with narcissism and just like a really big ego and selfishness, okay? So yeah, that sums up my dad for the most part. That definitely sums up how I felt living with my dad. It was a lot of that. It was definitely a very like power tripping type of thing. So with house number 19, the kind of like good part of it is that it's going to help you to learn to create new habits so that you can kind of like, I don't want to say cope with this energy, because we're not coping with narcissists. We're not coping with that shit. It's like to create new patterns and new habits to either get you out of that situation, or if it's you, to get you out of that mentality. So one thing that will be really good is to serve others, okay? Like, how can you be of service to the world? Try not to be selfish while you're in this house, because it definitely can promote a lot of selfish and controlling energy. And really balance out that ego. And if it's somebody that you're dealing with, try to build a routine or new habits, or even find something that will give you some type of stability so that you can leave that environment or leave that person. I'm always going to tell you to leave that person if they're being toxic, but I really just mean that, like, yeah, I don't know. Cause like for me, for example, like when I was living in a house with this number, that's when I was That's when I was getting ready to go to college. So like in order for me to get out of this energy of like the narcissistic and controlling energy of my dad, I had to get my grades real good so I could get accepted to an out-of-state college, and that helped me to get away, you know? So find something that is going to help you get out of that shit. There's going to be a lot of emotional intensity in this house, and it can really be a battle because of the expectations that are being set are so unrealistic. So try to be real with yourself. Are you setting unrealistic expectations for yourself, or is somebody else doing it? And try to work on creating boundaries, okay? Boundaries is a big one. That's number 19. So that wraps up the series on house number energies. Make sure that you hit that follow button because you never know what I'm going to post about next.